got a lot of love, but I ain't got a lot of time. We're gonna kick this podcast off right. Again, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow us on all of our platforms. My personal page is EV_Ty410. Purpose Media page, Instagram page is at Purpose Media. TikTok is Purpose with a 5 where the S is, a 3 where the E is. So at Purpose Media on TikTok. We post videos for motivational purposes, cycling purposes, and whatever we have going on in regards to the book, in regards to the podcast, in regards to life. Whoa, got a little glass right there. So we're going to start this off with, what is Purpose Media? Purpose Media is a content creator, digital creator, whatever you like to call it, company where we create content in regards to motivational purposes, life purposes, action, the book or books, because we have 3 now, which is really awesome. It's just basically overall exploration, a way that I can express what I have going on, what we have going on, in regards to making the world a better place. Shed a little bit of light on the processes and procedures of what we do, and inevitably the outcome of what we're creating, with hopes that it can help and assist everybody else. So Purpose Media was created 2023, January actually. Had the thought for a while, just never was able to set the time along to make it all happen, but it's been great so far. We've been able to get a lot done, and yeah, make sure you check out all of the podcasts that's going to be dropping. We have a Ride with Ty podcast, which is what we're listening to right now, or what you're watching, depending on what you're on, whether it's Spotify, YouTube, or iHeartRadio, Apple, whatever it is that you're watching or listening to, or even on the radio. We have multiple streams that are going to be showing our content. Oh, shout out to all of my cyclists out there, man. Make sure y'all are safe. Whether you're using hand signals, riding with one headphone, not two, or just being aware, man, because these car people do not care. But back to the things that matter. Yeah, Purpose Media, it's great, man. It's so far so good. Whoa. Got a quick little road stop. Okay. So we got a little tree in the way. Hopefully nobody got hurt. Everybody's good. That's really crazy. And the whole street, dang. Again, cyclists, be safe out there, man. That could have been really, really bad. So, Purpose Media company created January 23. Just shedding light on everybody. And our slogan, we're gonna let this wind die down a little bit. Going down the hill, it's a little bit windy. Our slogan for Purpose Media is, where your purpose defines you. So my intent of creating it was to help others and also shed light to what your purpose is. So all of these podcasts that we're going to be having, it's actually just a way to allow the interviewer to shed light on what they're doing, what they have going on, and inevitably help them out in getting their word out about what they're doing for the good of them and for their company. If you don't have a company but you inspire to have a company, we still appreciate you. We would love to have you on. And if you do have a company or a side business that you're growing, or if you just love doing whatever you're doing, whatever that is that makes you happy. Again, we love to hear the story. We would love to assist you in promoting your story. We are not here for money. If you decide to send a couple dollars, buy a freaking meal, if we come out and film with you, that's okay with me as well. But again, the intent was to help others, and that's what we're going to stick to. Even with the freaking book, I had a few people saying, oh, the book was expensive and so on and so on. Hey man, all the money that comes from that book has bought the camera, has bought the Sony, has bought the MacBook, pays for the fuel to get to you, buys new tires for the bike. Like, bro, I'm not here for the money. I'm honestly here to help everybody else. And in return, that's my joy. And that's what makes me get through my day. We all deal with all different things. And I'm a big time introvert, but I don't know, the older I get, honestly, the more I just want to help people. So that's what we're here for. To help people, to allow our society to be a better place. So since we're talking about me, let's jump into why I created Purpose, the Guide for Success. So Purpose, the Guide for Success is a self-accountability guide to assist you, me, whoever reads it on becoming a better version of themselves. There is no age group for the book Purpose, which was intentional, and we only had to separate it gender-based simply because it was actually created in the beginning, thought of for men. Me personally and a lot of other men that I know, we deal with our own demons, not having good leaders, role models, and people to explain to us or even lead us in the right way of what it's like to be a man. Hold on 1 second. So that was why I created it. I wasn't a big advocate on therapy, and I didn't know much about it until, honestly, the pandemic. So my goal with Purpose was to create a male journal. So for those of you that know about books and publishing, you understand that in this crazy world that we live in, your words and what you articulate or what you name a product determines how your product sells. I couldn't call Purpose, the Male Guide for Success, a male journal, because if I did, it would have been put into a whole different category of books, one, and second of all, it wouldn't be perceived the same exact way. So we switched it around, made a few other adjustments, and called it Purpose, the Male Guide for Success. And it was just so great that I had so much freaking love and praise from our great queens in this world, mothers, women, everybody, but more women than men that spoke so highly of it. We inevitably created the Woman's Guide for Success. So then we get those questions, oh my God, how are you going to write a success book for women when you're not a woman? Well, if you know me, you know that this ain't my first rodeo. And you know that I'm gonna think about everything before I do it. I'm big on analyzing my initial step, second step, third step, and future steps. So what I did was I reached out to over 35 influential women. Some of them responded back, some of them didn't. Either way, I appreciate you. But I reached out to them and asked them would they do a quick survey of what is a woman, what are the positives and negatives of being a woman, and if you could tell your future self anything, what would you tell them? A few other questions went into that, but overall, that was the initial thought path and questionnaire that I sent out. How you doing? Again, I got a lot of great responses from those who responded, and those who didn't, again, I still appreciate you, because whether you knew or whether you didn't, I thought highly of you, and that's why I reached out. So thank you regardless. So then we created Purpose, the Male Guide for Success, which dropped on February the 1st, was Black History Month. We had a great turnout. And again, because of all the great women that were buying it for their husbands and kids and brothers and so on, we created the Woman Guide for Success, which was also pretty amazing. And we dropped that on March the 1st, which was Women's History Month. Again, great turnout for both of them, and it worked. Hopefully, well, everybody that I've spoken to liked it. We've made a few adjustments, obviously, because nobody's perfect, and this is my first book. I self-published it, so if anybody is interested in learning about publishing a book, too easy, just hit me up. We can get on a video chat, and we can make it happen. Or honestly, we can put it on a pod. We can sit down, we can talk about it, discuss it, and hopefully we can create a blueprint and a process map which can allow you to write your book. We can make some things happen, so just let me know. It's too easy, man. It's too freaking easy. I got nothing but time and love, and I am here to spread as much as I have. So just let me know what you have, what you want to do, and yeah, we can make it happen. Also, I want to have a quick thank you to everybody who purchased it. We sold over 100 copies so far. And again, like I said, the people who bought it that have reached out to me, they loved it. They thought it was interesting. It was definitely unique because it was in my point of view. I didn't want to put it in MLA format or APA, all that nonsense. It was simply just me dropping it out. Obviously, I had to edit it and make it make sense in the book form, but I just wanted to be personable and explain to you what I was going through or what I thought a process map was for success. I believe I'm successful. Rewind. I know I'm successful, and I know this is just a tiny smidge of what's going to happen. So I was trying to spread that same light for somebody else that just needed that little drop of inspiration. So we're going to take a quick pause right here because it's a big truck coming. I know he's going to be loud. All right, so we're going to jump back into the book right quick because that's really what we're here for. That's really the reason, the backbone behind all of this. So, it's really windy right now, so I'm actually going to pull over so we can have a quick conversation. I know this is Ride with Ty, but I want to make sure the content is still good and clear for everybody. If not, it's just pointless. We're just talking to ourselves. But, so the book is Purpose, the Guide for Success. So for those of you who don't know, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of what Purpose is. So I actually created or came up with the idea to create a book like 2021, something like that. And it was January the 1st of 2022, January the 1st. Came up with the idea, wanted to write a book, and I had this little intuition. For those of you that don't believe in God, you would just say it was an intuition. For those of you who do, you could say it was God. But either way, I had this little thought in my brain that I should post what's on my mind whenever the time comes. And I did. And it was actually heartwarming, whatever the word I'm looking for. It was freaking awesome because there were many people that would reach out to me and say, hey man, I really needed to hear this, or oh, that was touching, or thank you for saying that. Anything, all those good things was happening, and it was people that I didn't even know. Some people I did know, a lot of people I did know, and I always just wanted to write a book, and I just wanted to help others. So, speed up the story a little bit. I created the Purpose the Male Guide for Success. So within Purpose the Male Guide for Success, you have 3 key components. And again, I was not a big advocate for therapy. And honestly, I didn't know many people who were until, we're gonna pull over right quick. I didn't know many people who were until freaking COVID. Then you hear all these celebrities want to speak out about it, when in reality, where I'm from, man, men don't discuss their feelings. Men don't talk about stuff like that. So I was like, let me figure out a way that I could try to assist, try to reach out, try to help others. And that's what it was. It was creating a book. So yeah, we have expression, accountability, and action. Those are the 3 key parts of the book. So expression is us just letting out whatever our problem is. We all have issues. We all have trials and tribulations that we went through. I'm great. I was actually making a video.
Oh,
You're good. No, that's perfect. That's perfect. I appreciate you though for checking. Great people in Catonsville. They looking out, and I appreciate it. So accountability. We all have things that we go through, right? So where I'm from, men don't really express those things. They just hold them all in, and then they blow up. And I don't know if you know this, but 92% of people that are in prison because they reacted and they didn't respond. So the difference between reacting and respond, I have a quick reel about that on my Instagram, so check that out if you want to. But reacting is where you don't hesitate, you just instantly do whatever your mind or heart tells you the outcome should be. And unfortunately, that's why we are in the situation that we're in, where if you respond, it's a more gradual action that comes along with it. So you're sitting back and you're analyzing the situation, you're being patient, and you're thinking logically, not emotionally. So the expression part simply is a way for you to write down what you're going through, the good, bad, the ugly, and most importantly, the reason for it. Because we all go through stuff, right? But what is the reason that you're going through it? And why haven't you got over that hump? And again, we all deal with it. And for me personally, I thought it was easier to put it on paper. For you, that might not be the thing, so I'm sorry for that. But either way, we have to come together and figure out a way to get it out there. So then we have the accountability purpose. So what I mean by accountability is you have to realize that no matter what goes on in life, you are going to be responsible for this stuff. You have to pay the price for the actions that you take. Your life is going to tell the story about what you did in life. Therefore, accountability comes into play. So we have pain points, right? So I have the pain points in there, and that explains what are those little areas that trigger you, whether it's you being lazy, whether you knowing that you need to do something, but you doing what you want to do versus what you need to do. All kinds of stuff. Whatever your pain points are, that's what it is. You write it down, you analyze it, and you're accountable for those actions. So then we have a spinoff of the accountability, which would be your pivot. So your pivot transitions into your action. So obviously, whenever we think of pivot, we think about playing basketball, right? Well, an athlete would think about basketball. So when you catch the ball and you pivot, you're going to hesitate to go that way. You don't necessarily make that decision. However, you do move that foot. You leave that one pivot foot still, right? But you do move that foot in that area of where you could go. So you're making the defender think, oh, I'm going to go here. But then you spin around or you Euro step or whatever it is, that pivot foot stays primary in that area so you can go a different direction. So your expression allows you to understand what the problem is. Your accountability allows you to realize that you are responsible for whatever it is that you went through, whether good or bad or ugly. You have to take accountability for the actions and understand that now it's time to pivot. So when you pivot, you're transitioning into your action. And this part is the greatest part about all, because in life, we do this thing where we hear motivational quotes, or we hear people always speak about what are your goals, what are your dreams. No disrespect to ET, but you gotta want it more than you want to sleep, or you gotta want it more than you want to breathe. Yeah, all that stuff is all fun and dandy, right? Yeah, that works for some people. But in reality, motivation is going to only get you but so far. You have to actually build habits. Now, habits are the key to success, because your habits turn into discipline. Your discipline turns into consistency. If you can't do the same thing over and over and over and over and over, how would you become great, right? And if you don't have discipline, that's making you do what you need to do, not what you want to do. Because what you want to do got you where you at, right? Let's be honest. What you want to do got you in the place that you are right now. Now, what you need to do is going to push you over that hump to make you that better person, and to bring all of your goals into reality, your dreams into reality, and your expectations and your desires into what you actually want them to be. So that's a quick synopsis of the book, The Woman Guide for Success, The Male Guide for Success, and it spins back over to what is your purpose. So again, we have Purpose Media, right? And RideWithTy is a branch of Purpose Media. The sit-down podcast called Purposeful Conversations is also a branch of Purpose Media. My goal is to assist you in defining your purpose, whether it's in the book, whether it's through the podcast, whether it's through motivational videos, whether it's you just having a conversation with me. If you don't want to be on the podcast, but you just want to sit down, again, the saying is I got a lot of love, but I ain't got a lot of time. We might be able to squeeze some time in for you to make that happen. But in reality, what is your purpose? And in the Male Guide and the Women Guide, we started off with, my goal isn't to tell you what it is to be a man. And we already know I'm not a woman, so therefore I don't even dictate that or even explain that in the woman. I'll let the influential women who actually spoke to me, who actually did the survey, put their inputs into the Woman's Guide for Success. And we just basically break down the fact that there are so many different women. There are so many unique obstacles that women go through that make them into the great people that they are, the great woman that they are. So you have to use all that to define your purpose of being a woman. So to bring that all together, get back on this bike, Purpose, a guide for success, male or woman, is just a self-accountability guide to assist us into becoming better versions of ourselves in defining our purpose, getting over the obstacles, getting over the humps, and inevitably just being a better person for humanity. Because when you help others, your life is always better. And honestly, I'm going to just give everybody a task to do. Every day, you should have an act of kindness, of something that you did positive to help somebody else without wanting something in return. And I guarantee when you do that more and more and more, your act of kindness will become bigger, your wheelhouse and expertise will become broader, and you will be happier because you get to see the joy on somebody else's face. Now, obviously, don't be an idiot now. I'm a firm believer in helping as you should help, but not over helping, because people will use the hell out of you. So don't be that guy or girl, but just look out for other people. Try to be the best version of you that you can be. And most importantly, be you, be true, and let the universe do the rest. All right, so as we're about to close off this podcast, I just got a quick question for everybody. So the great Tony Allen said, the quality of your questions determine the quality of your life. So you gotta ask bigger, better, more expensive, more quality and important questions. So my question to you is, who are you uninterrupted? And I want you to think about that. Don't just instantly react. I want you to really just sit back and think about that question. Who are you uninterrupted? And I probably have been thinking about that question for a year straight, right? However, with me thinking about that question, it allowed me to not only ponder on my actions, but it allowed me to also move accordingly to do things that make me happier overall. So what I mean is, you uninterrupted is a happy you, is a more genuine you, is a more kind you, is a more beautiful you. Cars coming by. And that type of you is what the world needs, is what we want. And most importantly, it's what you need. So I'll wrap this up by saying, we're all scared to do things, but just know, when you have that fear inside of you that's making you feel like, oh, I might not be good enough, or, oh, what if somebody doesn't like it? Again, man, fear is false evidence appearing real. But just remember, when you do everything that you know you shouldn't be doing, or that doesn't make you happy because you're doing it for somebody else, you don't have fear, you just do it. And in reality, what's that outcome? You're not happy, you're annoyed, you wish you did what you wanted to do. So just remember, no matter what, that fear, man, is a good thing. That fear is the reason that I'm riding right now. That fear is the reason that I have done everything I ever wanted to do so far in my little life. On the entrepreneur side, on the activity side, on, just the side of whatever comes along with it. You're never gonna be happy, well, not even happy, man. Like, nothing will ever be perfect. But what I can promise you is that fear, man, that's a great thing. That means that you're doing something right. I guarantee you, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, all of these other great people had fear. Shoot, I had fear before I came out here just to go talk to y'all on a bicycle. What am I scared for? This is my podcast. I talk about whatever I want to talk about. But we all have, again, that little fear bug that sits deep inside of us. But just know, man, if you have fear, that means you're doing something right. Moral to the story. And I hope you can hear me well, because it is windy as hell. But just know, fear is a good thing, but it ain't real. Just post it. Just make that video. Just do whatever you think you need to do. Don't overthink it. Just do it. Like my boy Nike. And it's just like that, man. So, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. And as usual, be you, be true, let the universe do the rest.